Hello, my friends. What has ears but cannot hear? A cornfield. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Alright, where to start? I should probably start with who I am. My name is Jack and I'm a Wendigo. I'm not a normal one though. It'll be easier to explain in story form, so, I guess that's where we're going. Fake names for the discretion, of course. I was walking home from a friend's house when it all started. It was roughly 7 p.m. in the middle of winter, so it was rather dark, and I was walking past this white van. Bad idea, I know, but it was a foreign electric company, so I wasn't that worried. Boy, can you guess how surprised I was when I was pulled into the van? The person quickly overpowered me and put an arm around me to close up my arms, and covered my mouth with a hand. The person then faced me and unwrapped the arm to make an SHH motion, and she looked so scared. I nodded to show that I was good, and she released me. The woman in question looked like somebody out of an anime, long blue hair, rather pale skin, pointy, protruding ears like an elf, and full plate armor, complete with shield and sword. We waited what felt like hours, but it was only about 5 minutes before she spoke to me. "What are you doing out so late?" she asked. "I'm out and about this late almost every day. This is the time when I have to go home from Chase House," I replied. "Well, you picked a bad month to go there." "How so?" "The geezers migrated." "What the heck is a gay isle?" I asked. "Trust me, you don't wanna know. One thing's for sure though, you shouldn't go to your friend's house for a few years." "Years?" "Yes, and keep your voice down, you might draw it back." "And what's this it? One of your geisels?" "Yes, wait, down," she hissed. "No, I have no reason to believe you. For all I know, you're waiting for your partner in crime to make it even easier to kidnap me. I'm out of here," I said, before opening the door, jumping out, and running a grand total of 3 feet before being lifted into the air by some chittering monstrosity behind me. I knew before it turned me around that this wasn't just some weird machine, but one of the lady's geisels. I didn't even bother crying for help. I knew that none would come and that this was my fault in the first place. Then I heard an already familiar voice shout, "Hold still." And I have never been happier to hear the voice of a kidnapper, albeit I had never heard one before, but still. When I looked at her, she didn't have any weapons out like I thought she would, but rather, a weird portal thing. Despite the fact that the mouth of the geisel was only a foot away now, and that I should probably be more focused on trying to escape, I couldn't look away from this beautiful home, looking into space. Then I saw something that would save my life, over and over again. I shifted. I saw a spray yellow-green. I heard the paint screeches of the prey. I was feasting on its still warm body. Then I was interrupted. The woman, Leal, was calling my name. When had we told each other our names? Then I was shrinking, growing less hungry. Then I was back, still hungry, but back. "What the fuck just happened?" I asked, still dripping with green goop around my mouth. She looked even more serious than usual. Then she drew her sword and it started glowing. It was faint, but the sword was glowing, shield as well. "Whoa lady, I have no idea what just happened, so put the weapons away, and let's be civil about this." Then she looked shocked, and I could smell fear on her. Since when could I smell people's weird fear juices? Thinking about humans as a separate species was nothing new, but being able to smell them? Something weird was going on, and I could tell she had some answers. "You really have no idea what just happened?" said the woman. "No, Leal. No. That's what I want you to tell me." "Alright, I just need a moment to collect my thoughts. Make it fast, I have to carry on home in right now. Alright, I don't want to get caught, so go home, and meet me here tomorrow at noon. I have school tomorrow, how about 4 in the afternoon? Fine, goodbye, for now, she said before getting into her van and driving away. Tomorrow's going to be hectic. Alright, where did we leave off last time? Oh right. Leal driving off and I was walking into the distance, also known as my house. On to the story. After I got home from that strange encounter, I went into the bathroom to clean the goop off my face, and it was a good thing that I didn't stop to take my shoes too, as my mom turned the corner just as I went into the cover of the bathroom. I was able to get a cloth wet and start washing before she got close enough to hear the very early noise of water, and she asked me, "So, what took you so long?" I lost track of time, and accidentally stayed past 7, but I'm here now, so no harm is done. Alright, as long as you have a good reason for being so late, you're okay. Love you. Love you too, Mom. After I finished cleaning, I flushed and washed the cloth before tossing it in the laundry bin. After I got to my room, I promptly collapsed into a dreamless sleep. The next day went by as normal, and I thought the events of the previous day were all just a dream. Shape-shifting, elves, giant indescribable beasts. There was no way they could all exist, except for maybe the elves. It was all a dream, right? Right. As the day passed and I was slogging through the end of school, I had noticed something that brought all my preconceptions of the world crashing down. It may have seemed unimportant to anybody who saw it, but, to me, it was earth-shattering. I only knew about it at the end of the day, during some group work in math. One of the people in my group pointed out some green goop on the slope of my nose, close enough, and small enough for me to pose it as some stray gland, so I just wiped it off, and put it in my pocket. Nobody noticed, which was nice as well, considering I was the outcast of the grade and this would have added to the ridicule. I didn't care much about it, but it could get pretty annoying at times. Once class was over, I went to the bathroom and confirmed my suspicions. It wasn't an eye bouger. It was some dried geisel blood. There go my relaxing plans to sleep for the rest of the day. I had an elf to interrogate. Took you long enough. Not my fault, I had some difficult homework. Fair enough, I guess you're going to want some answers, right? Correct, I replied. It had taken me an extra half hour before I could get to the meeting point, but it was true that I had some difficult work to do. It was made harder as I was still in a small amount of shock from my realization. So then, how? How what? That thing I did yesterday. I want to know how and why. You shifted. How? Geez, don't yell. You might draw a geisel. It's a guarantee that one is nearby due to the death of its fellow, and the how? There are two reasons. The first stimulus was the stress from being in a near-death situation. The second was my revealer. I had suspected there was something strange about you when I pulled you into the van, and by suspect I mean felt. If you understand what I mean by that, then congratulations, you have some mental capacity, she said, not bothering to hide her condescending tone. Hey, don't look so much down on me just because I'm younger. I can apparently handle myself in situations like yesterday. And second, what is a revealer? I questioned, wondering why this woman was so annoying. A revealer works in a rather simple way. It only works with those that can shift, like you and Lickans. What it does is it forces the true form out. I was unsure it would work as your other form seemed to be buried rather deep. Speaking of, how can a Wendigo be so, you? She answered. Whoa whoa whoa? A Wendigo? I'm not exactly a giant cannibalistic beast, and I've never eaten human. And even if I had somehow eaten some, then it would have been a small amount. So how can I be a Wendigo? I asked. I have no idea. I was hoping you could answer that for me. But I have worked out a hypothesis. Something you've been eating has had large amounts of human flesh, but not enough to fully bring out a Wendigo, and even then not all who eat flesh becomes a Wendigo, in small amounts at least. So you drew a short straw while eating something contaminated, but it was close and you only ended up having the ability to shift as a survival instinct, and a buried one at that. And with it probably would have come urges and enhanced sense and abilities. Any sign of those? She explained. Yes, and yes, so I'm guessing it's all waking up now that I've shifted? Yes. And if you want to not turn into a nearly mindless beast, then we should give you training to control it, which would need time. Is there any way you could meet with me regularly so that we can practice your control? She asked. Yes, but only if we can get my friend involved. I don't want to due to the obvious and less so dangers. But, my plan would need him to work. May I inquire what this plan of yours is? Yes, it's similar to what's happening now. I ask if I can go to his house, then I meet up with you and we train. But to keep him from asking at my place, we'll need him with us, so that his mum isn't suspicious either. Alright? I explained. Alright, try and work things out with your friend, and if all goes according to plan we can start tomorrow. Meet me here at the same time every possible day. She responded, before once again climbing into her van and driving off to wherever it is she spends her time. Now then, to speak with Chase.